Good afternoon. This special meeting of the Baltimore City Council Committee of the Whole is now called to order. Please turn off all cell phones or put them on vibrate. I will formally appoint and dispatch a group of council members to escort the mayor into the chambers. The members of the escort committee are Councilwoman Clark, Councilwoman Sneed, Councilman Stokes, and Councilman Rossinger. Will the escort committee please greet the mayor and accompany her to the chamber?
Mr. President, the Mayor of the City of Baltimore.
Welcome back. Let's go.
Members of the council and honorable guests, I have the high privilege of presenting to you the mayor of the great city of Baltimore, the Honorable Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, members of the Baltimore City Council, business owners, comptroller, residents, business owners, family, friends, neighbors, those gathered, our state's attorney, I see her, and those listening. It has been 2 years, 2 months, and 23 days since I was sworn in as the 50th mayor of our city. Thank you for this privilege. My early charge to our city agencies to collaborate and work together has achieved some successes, while we still have many challenges in front of us. There is not a single person in this city, including me, that can say we are satisfied with where crime stands in this city today. Too much violence, too many illegal guns that have left many in our city, including me, angered and devastated. Our commitment is to improve the quality of life for all of us who live, work, play, and visit this city. While we reduced murders to 296 last year and picked up 13 murders from previous years as far back as 1975, that left us with 309 homicides, which resulted in a near 10% drop over the previous year of 343. It is not enough. One life lost in this city remains one life too many. Driving crime down, making this city safe, is and continues to be my #1 priority. It is the single most important factor in improving the quality of life for us all. So we can and must do better. I want to thank the team of people who make up the Violence Reduction Initiative, the VRI, police commanders and agency leaders who meet daily, including a weekly walk with me through crime-ridden neighborhoods, whose collaboration on the 8 focus neighborhoods enabled us to reduce homicides by 24% and other violent crimes experienced as much as a 30% reduction. We have so much more to do. Dr. Bunley and the team in the African American Engagement Office are working with boys and men on our streets to help get them off the corners and connect them to the help they need, including jobs to support themselves and their families. They've engaged Congressman Cummings in this work. In November, we received state support to expand Safe Streets, and we kicked off ROCA, which focused on 17 to 24-year-old troubled young men. ROCA provides them with jobs, counseling, and wraparound services of support. We believe both programs can help us reduce crime. Thank you, Tyrone Roper and the MOCJ team and our business leaders for your support. We also look forward to the leadership of Ganesha, who will join us, Martin, who will join us soon. We are proud to have settled the police contract that helped put more police officers on our streets with the new shift schedule that began last month and also gave us 2 citizens to be placed on our trial boards. Michael Harrison, we welcome you to Baltimore. As acting commissioner, You spent your first 9 days crisscrossing neighborhoods to hear the concerns of our residents around violence, which included clearing open-air drug markets, reducing crime, creating a more community-engaged department, along with the implementation of the consent decree. Mr. Harrison, as many of you probably know by now, comes to us from New Orleans after 28 years of service and 4 as the head of their police department. New Orleans Police Department, once considered one of the most troubled in America, has, under Commissioner Harrison's leadership, experienced one of the highest percentage drops of crime in the nation. In his own voice, he considers the challenges of Baltimore as an opportunity. Commissioner Harrison, you have my full commitment to support your efforts in reforming this police department, changing the cultural behavior, implementing the consent decree, creating a more constitutional, community-engaged department, and driving down crime. Your work has already begun. You improved city stat that will create more accountability and transparency in policing and hiring, a new application process and campaign to drive more individuals to become members of our department. This past year, we gained certification of our high school cadet program, led by Dan Heimowitz and our Bloomberg Innovation Team, that will allow our city school graduates to enter a 2-year cadet training program where they will earn $35,000 a year while training to enter the Baltimore Police Academy. Where they will leave and earn about $52,000 a year, competitive with our surrounding jurisdictions. We also commit the help of the state to provide our department with the tools and resources needed to fill the vacancies while improving technology and training facilities that will allow the maximum number of officers to be hired. Let me also welcome Cece Harrison, the Commissioner's wife. Who, by the way, gave up a great career to join her husband on this journey. Thank you, Cece. Improving the outcomes of the lives of our children is also important to the quality of life of our city. There is no doubt that the young people in our city want to work. Last year, when we closed our job portal for summer jobs, just over 12,000 young people had signed up to work. We were able to provide jobs for nearly 9,000 of them. This year, 16,000 young people have applied to work this summer. So I'm calling on the business, the philanthropic community, organizations, and nonprofits to help us hire all our young people who want to work this summer. It is clear, thank you. It is clear that many of these young people also need full-time work. So while we are providing assistance to some of them year-round through our Be More Beautiful campaign, thank you, Rebecca Woods, of our Environmental Control Board, we must create more sustainable job programs to keep them working while helping them to plan better futures. Thanks to our unions, we are creating more apprenticeship programs to put people to work. On April 20, yeah, that's a round of applause, thank you. On April 26, we will host our annual jobs fair for our high school graduates and ask the companies in Baltimore to join our city agencies while we provide them with opportunities to work. Hire them. Last year, we announced that we were going to make Baltimore City Community College free so that no parent would have to worry about their child's dream of success. We are proud to announce that over 500 young people entered Baltimore City Community College for free in the fall of 2018. However, we know that many of them are facing challenges, whether it is the cost of transportation, housing, or a support system to assure their success. We are now working to close those gaps with the help of others. We're currently seeking support to build a dormitory facility to accommodate our young people who are struggling because their environments are not conducive to learning. Some are even homeless. Let me thank Jason Perkins Cohen, who not only heads our Office of Employment Development and Youth Works program, but provided assistance to over 400 Baltimore City Public School students who were not academically prepared to enter Baltimore City Community College. He gave them an opportunity to earn while they learned. If you want to know how you can help our young people be successful at Baltimore City Community College, volunteer to be a life coach. They need you. Contact the Mayor's Scholars Program and volunteer your services. Baltimore is one of the only cities in the country where you can universally earn a 4-year college degree for free. Thanks to Coppin State University that has offered our BCCC Mayor's Scholars an opportunity to earn their BS degree after earning their AA degree. Let me also thank all the colleges and universities in Baltimore who have leaned in with scholarships and grant programs and Year Up to help our students be successful. Building better schools is essential to the improvement of the quality of life in our city. Let me acknowledge that we are on time and on budget to cut the ribbon on 7 more 21st century schools in Baltimore. Last year, we opened 7. We look forward to them becoming greater anchors in our communities, spurring investment and revitalization. We thank the Stadium Authority and the state of Maryland as they continue to build those 28 new schools in Baltimore, more than will be built in the entire state. We are thankful. We are thankful for the $1.2 billion we were able to obtain from the state. Even with that investment, we still have schools with no running water. We need more, as much as we need Kerwin to adjust the funding formula to help us improve our outcomes for our children who are deserving of a quality education. New modes of transportation are being tested in Baltimore. While we seek to accommodate more bike lanes, in August of 2018, we introduced dockless scooters and electric bicycles. By the end of 2018, 650,000 trips were completed on scooters and 4,635 trips on e-bikes, with over 180,000 users. We look forward to increasing our electric fleets, thereby reducing our carbon footprint. Thank you, Michelle Pouchot of Transportation and Steve Sharkey of General Services, whose 200 team members each received a $2,000 bonus check as they shared in the savings they provided the city in repairing our fleets. The health of our city remains a top priority as we together met our billion-step challenge. I don't know if all y'all participated, but I did. We are looking forward to the confirmation of our new health commissioner, Letitia Jarasa, after the departure of Dr. Nguyen, who now heads Planned Parenthood. Our city struggles with addiction and homelessness. We will open the first of its kind stabilization center, a joint effort of our health department, our fire department, EMS division led by Chief Ford, and Behavioral Health Services of Baltimore, which will provide 24-hour service to help fight substance abuse and addiction. We just broke ground last week. Homelessness can end, but we must be strategic and focused. So I want to thank Janet Abrahams, who is renovating nearly 50 public housing units to provide housing for the homeless. Shelters are not homes, and we cannot expect people to fully pull their lives together if that is the only reliable place to help them up from the streets. Jerry Ann Anthony, our newly appointed Director of Homeless Services, will provide us with a successful roadmap towards ending homelessness. I am proud to say that with the help of this council, we were able to create a $20 million annual affordable housing trust fund. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Affordable means also accommodations for the homeless. Broken pipes and flooded streets also factor into the quality of life in our city. We can no longer kick the can down the road. During the flooding of Frederick Road, Councilman Burnett, families found their homes and cars underwater, streets washed away. I remind us all that we are under federal mandate to fix these pipes so as not to endanger any more lives or personal property. The Frederick Road fix cost us nearly $2 million. David McMillan and his team stood with us, Councilman, from Emergency Management, where we held the hands of the residents and helped them to clean up and repair the damage. But it does not fix the problem. So I'm calling on our Public Works Department, Mr. Chow, to prepare for our citizens a transparent plan with a time frame and the citywide plan to fix our infrastructure. Privatizing our water system is not an option. Neither is selling city assets. My team wrote the charter amendment making that declaration, and this council passed legislation supporting that mandate. However, to maintain its value, we must fix the pipes so as not to experience what Flint, Michigan has and is experiencing, a whole city on bottled water. That comes, however, at a cost, which will see rising water rates for the next 3 years. But because we maintain ownership, we will be able to reduce those prices and find cost savings to return to our citizens. I have asked our federal partners for help, and they have provided us with $200 million in low-interest loans that will keep us on target to prevent additional rising costs. We must prepare for a future that leaves us with less of a carbon footprint and a better way to manage our trash, whether we expand composting or offer the world an opportunity to use Baltimore as a laboratory for creating safe, green, and carbon-free methodologies to control trash and garbage while finding better reuses for it. Improving the quality of life also means fixing and reducing the boarded-up housing stock in our city. In Park Heights, 16 acres is now ready for rehab and new housing structures. We will drive the number of vacant buildings below 15,000 for the first time in more than 15 years. Yes. We're entering a new era of community development. The $52 million Neighborhood Impact Investment Fund that this administration created by not selling city-owned garages is now up to nearly $80 million and expected to grow. These funds will be used to strategically focus on neighborhoods outside of downtown that have been underinvested in for decades. From Sandtown to East Baltimore, to Madison Park, to Harlem Park, to Hollands Market, Druid Heights, to Park Heights. We will change our neighborhoods for the better. We believe in the strength of our neighborhoods, community development corporations, and communities associations. So in 2018, we provided over $10 million in operational and capital support to over 60 such groups. The leadership of Michael Braverman, Jay Green, and their team are producing great work. Thanks to the U.S. Conference of Mayors and the workshop that Enterprise Foundation offered and I participated in last year, asking all mayors in this country to learn about opportunity zones, Baltimore is now nearly 1/3 of the state's opportunity zones, 42 in all, more than almost any other city in the nation. And just a few weeks ago, we learned that Prudential has made the first opportunity zone investment of over $10 million in our Yard 56 East Baltimore project. I want to thank Ben Siegel, our Opportunity Zone Coordinator, Bill Cole, Planning, Colin Tarbert, Jim, and Pete. We announced that we were among the finalists last year to receive a $30 million HUD Choice Neighborhood Grant. I'm proud to tell you that we are winners of the $30 million. Which will spur over $800 million in investment in the Perkins, Somerset, and Old Town neighborhood communities. Janet, again, thank you for hitting the ground running. Reggie Moore, our Parks and Recreation Director, your team has led the way to improving parks, building new recreation centers, adding to the 43 across the city you operate, building 2 rec centers, new ones, Cahill and Middle Branch and Cherry Hill. We are currently renovating Bocheck and Towanda, with plans to also renovate Mary E. Rodman, Medfield, and Edgewood Lyndhurst, as well as renovating the Oliver Pool that has been closed for nearly a decade. With the support of our state delegation, we will be able to renovate 6 more pools in the city where our children will be able to learn to swim for free. These centers also open to provide our children with activities and meals when our schools are closed for inclement weather or otherwise. I look forward to lighting the torch on our newly established Summer Games in Olympic fashion, with a ceremony, and I know the council will join me, culminating on the steps of the War Memorial Plaza. Besides the opening of Shake and Bake with a new skating floor, 500 pairs of new skates, new concession stands, meeting rooms, and big screen TVs, the bowling alley is expected to reopen with new lanes and other amenities in April. Heidi Daniels, we look forward to dancing in the street in front of our newly renovated main Enoch Pratt Free Library. Thank you for all your work. We also thank you for your mobile unit that we have now added to with our mobile jobs unit, that we are moving throughout neighborhoods and communities to connect people to jobs. On our unit, we've also added lawyers to help qualified individuals expunge their records. Creating home ownership is important to the growth of our city. So I want to thank our hospital systems, Johns Hopkins, University of Maryland, and LifeBridge, all who have and are offering from $18,000 to $35,000 for employees to live near where they work. This also includes, this also includes our first-time home buyers program that provides $5,000 in tax credits for first-time home buyers. Soon, we will announce another program from a large bank, a loan program providing $20,000 to $30,000 in forgivable loans to live in our city. I'm challenging our local I'm challenging all of our local companies and enterprises and corporations to help us grow Baltimore. Work with Annie Milley at Live Baltimore and offer incentives for your employees to live near where they work. We will continue to think creatively around turning boarded-up houses into homes. Whether Mary Pat Clark through a dollar-like house program, where we qualify individuals to fix them up and live in them within a year, or create a lower tax rate for those who will come and renovate and live in boarded-up blocks and turn them into neighborhoods. Importantly, in our city, we must create equity in opportunities provided by and through city contracting. This is not a request of our city agencies, but a mandate. Contracting or purchasing services or products that includes professional services must include African Americans and other minority participation, and we must stop the excuses and just do it. Sharing opportunities and becoming more diverse and inclusive will only make our city stronger. Our equity officer, with the help of the Office of Sustainable Solutions under Kendra Parlock, will develop tools of measurement to ensure we achieve the goals of equity, diversity, and inclusion that incorporates the residents and businesses of our city. I've asked Paul Taylor in our small business office to host a business fair to stimulate small business lending and investment by local banks and investors. You will hear more about this in the coming months. Let me remind you also that we are just about 1 year away from the U.S. Census count. Our team is hard at work, and we must count everyone living in our city. An inaccurate count will result in the loss of nearly $18,000 per person over the next decade of federal dollars. While this will be the first census in which you will use the internet, there will still be 3 ways to be counted: internet, paper, and phone. We will use authentic messengers to help us with this. Our last census count a decade ago, we achieved 68% completion. The U.S. Census Director recently said to me, and he's committed to jumping in our aquarium pool if we get above 70%. So let's make it happen. Okay, Baltimore, make it happen. Baltimore is a welcoming city, and we thank Catalina Rodriguez Lima for helping Baltimore to be among the first cities to provide a legal fund to protect our immigrant community. Cutting property taxes in Baltimore to be more competitive is necessary. For fiscal year 2020, I will achieve and fulfill the commitment to reduce the targeted homeowners tax credit by 20 cents. This was the 20 cents by 2020 initiative under the previous administration, bringing the effective tax rate for owner-occupied residents to $2.048, beginning July 2019. Today, Mr. President, we're announcing that for fiscal year 2021, we will reduce the targeted homestead property tax by 5 cents, bringing the effective tax rate under $2 to $1.998. I assure you, Baltimore, that we intend to be aggressive and financially responsible, and at the same time, we'll pursue other property tax reduction opportunities to make Baltimore more competitive with its surrounding jurisdictions. Investments are being made in Baltimore. We're seeing it in our opportunity zones. We thank Goldman Sachs for its nearly $300 million in investment in Port Covington, but also La Cité, and now looking to help transform Cherry Hill without gentrifying or replacing residents, but improving their quality of life. As well as J.P. Morgan, that is looking to further invest in Baltimore. Baltimore's future growth and job development will make room for numerous investors and more opportunities for local entrepreneurs, developers, individuals, and business owners to grow and expand in our city. Let me say to all the people, the groups, the organizations, Women's Commission, LGBTQ and Youth Commission, including my Call to Action group, thank you for leaning in and not just standing on the sidelines. I can't do this work by myself. It is you, the cheerleaders, the citizens, the concerned voices, the business leaders, the philanthropic organizations, nonprofits, faith leaders who can and are helping me bring about the change that all of us want to see and deserve. We are committed to keeping the Preakness in Baltimore. as we are changing the narrative of our city. It is our Super Bowl. I say to the state and owners of the track, work with us and we will work with you. Partnerships matter, and the Preakness matters to Baltimore. I thank our city solicitor, Andre Davis, for his due diligence. I thank my entire mayor's office team. You actually make my job easier. All of our elected officials, federal, state, and this council, state's attorney, comptroller, and you, Mr. President, for partnering now for our success in the future. Baltimore, Baltimoreans, friends, neighbors, residents, business owners, and stakeholders. Together, we can grow Baltimore. We can be prosperous, and we will be safe as we improve the quality of life for us all. Thank you.